Hi guys, in this episode of ADK, I am really excited to be checking out a new song by one of my favorite girl groups from JYP, which is not really saying much because I love every single girl group by JYP, but anyway, that being the girl group NIZIU with their first Korean track, their Korean debut, with the song Heartris. I am really excited to see what this song is going to give us, honestly. It's probably not going to be different in terms of its sound. It's probably still going to be like the very cutesy sound that they've been doing for the Japanese side of things. But there's a really funny potential about what this song is actually going to end up being. Because you gotta remember, NIZIU's style of music is very much the kind of style that TWICE started off as. You know, the cutesy, playful sound that we all know and love and associate with TWICE. That's the kind of style that they started doing. That's the kind of style that they did with NIZIU, because conceptually NIZIU was basically doing that style and targeting the Japanese demographic, you know? So I really wonder why the fuck are they doing the Korean debut kind of thing? Like, I know that K-pop groups do that for Japan and they debut in Japan, but it's kind of like having an NCT unit set in a different, like, country, like, for example, let's say Wavy, and them starting to do, like, Korean tracks. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're kind of destroying the whole purpose of this group existing, you know? But still, I'm really curious to see whether this is genuinely going to be, like, basically, like, 2015 TWICE. Did they debut in 2015 or 2016? I don't remember. I think it was 2015, right? Whether it's gonna have that kind of like old school TWICE sound, because they've had that style for their Japanese stuff. It still feels like their own kind of thing. They're not just doing like TWICE's music, but it does feel like at least inspired or like spiritual successor to that TWICE style. So I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with their Korean debut. It's very, very exciting. But before we get into it and find out, I do want to quickly remind you that I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me out with my transition by donating to my Patreon, my Coffee account, or my PayPal, because for those of you who didn't know, I am trans. And by doing so, you also get the ability to demand me to do K-pop reactions, be it to a specific music video, a specific album, or potentially even a whole artist's discography. If you don't want to spend money on it though, you can also just recommend stuff and suggest stuff in the comments down below. But the only sure way to make me react to something is by supporting me through Patreon and Coffee especially. But yeah, if you don't care about that, any of that, that's fine. Let's get into what you're here for, which is my reaction to NIZIU's Heartris. So without further ado, let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Felix? What the fuck are you doing here, Felix? What the? I'm just so lost because of the Felix inclusion. I just did not expect that at all. I love the anime art style, that's cool. You know, I gotta say, they really kind of look completely different. I now realize that there's a big difference in the styling of K-pop idols and like J-pop idols. Even when it's like still like the K-pop style things for the Japanese comebacks and stuff, it's still different. You know, Felix really is an anime boy come to life. I really like the chorus, it's very catchy. Also, the song is very loud. I really love the anime art style, man. That's so cool. Okay. Oh, there's still more. Okay. I definitely have some things to say about this song. First of all, I want to say, I wonder whether I'm gonna have some of the same kind of feelings that I've had when comparing this to NIZIU's Japanese releases. Whether this is going to be a similar kind of experience to what I've had with ITZY and Stray Kids' releases when you're comparing the Japanese and the Korean ones, you know? Because if you didn't check out my previous couple of videos, I've been reacting to like Stray Kids and ITZY, and I pointed out in all of those videos how, for one reason or another, ITZY and Stray Kids music hasn't really been my favorite in the last year or so, maybe even more. Not that it's been bad, I've still had some songs that I've enjoyed from them, but it just hasn't fucking hit the same as it used to, you know? And you could argue maybe that it's because they've changed their sound and I've just kind of fallen out of enjoying that sound that they're doing. But at the same time, they've also been releasing Japanese tracks. In the case of Stray Kids, there's The Sound and Sociopath. And in the case of ITZY, there's Voltage, Blah Blah Blah, and Ringo. And I love those songs. They're really good, they're really entertaining, and they feel more in line with those groups' styles. So I don't know why is there this distinction between their Japanese and Korean songs, and I prefer the Japanese ones. And I'm really curious when I really think about comparing this Korean release by NIZIU and the Japanese stuff, which one I like more? Because I can't quite tell honestly right now. I definitely find this enjoyable. It definitely doesn't feel like old school Twice. I'll tell you that right off the bat. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more actually like your current style of K-pop songs in this particular niche of like the more cutesy and playful kind of things. Like this definitely sounds like something I can see like maybe Weekly doing, or there's a bunch of groups. I don't remember all of them, man. There's so many. I can't remember all the names, but there's definitely groups who do this kind of style that I can see them doing this, you know? So this definitely doesn't feel quite as distinct sound-wise as their Korean stuff, but it also kind of, in some ways, feels like better. I can't quite tell, because like I like what their Japanese stuff are. I like their style. I enjoy it for what it is. It's great. I like it. But this one just seems at least more fun and just more exciting, I guess, is another better way to describe it. It just feels more exciting. Like, you can really see the difference between the kind of music K-pop groups do to target the Korean demographic and the Japanese. At least nowadays, I feel like that's genuinely the kind of different directions that they go for the two things. Like, they do more fun songs when it comes to the Korean stuff, like more exciting songs, Whereas for the Japanese ones, I mean, I don't know, it kind of depends on the group, but it's like, to me, this kind of feels like more polished, more elevated, just, it feels like more, I think that's honestly the best word to describe it. It feels more polished. It just feels more polished, like more expensive, compared to their Japanese songs. And yeah, it doesn't quite feel as distinct as their Japanese stuff, but again, I kind of find it very enjoyable still, and in some ways more exciting, like I said. I do like the chorus quite a lot. Again, I have issues with this song not being quite as distinct as I would have liked it, but it's honestly pretty good. It's pretty solid. I don't know ultimately how much I'm going to listen to it because it doesn't quite feel as memorable as their Japanese songs, but it's good. I like it. And we're obviously still going to listen to it a second time before I decide on my final opinion. So without further ado, let's listen to it again in 3, 2, 1. I really got distracted by the inclusion of Felix. And yeah, there's also the way their makeup and just styling is done does look different compared to their Japanese styling. They look very different. Okay, that chorus is really catchy. That's gonna be an earworm for sure. You know, this doesn't feel like 2015 Twice, but it does remind me of 2015 K-pop. Or more specifically, 2016 K-pop, I guess, because that's when I started being a K-pop fan, and it reminds me of the kind of K-pop that we got back then. That chorus is an earworm. I love it a lot. I really do, man. I wasn't sure at first, but I really love it. I really don't like how non-existent Nina is for this music video. She's my bias and I want to see more of her, but she's barely there in this one. That's kind of the only criticism I ultimately have about this. But yeah, okay. I definitely will say that I ultimately like this quite a lot. I think I'm ultimately going to give this one honestly a 10 out of 10 because I'm honestly slightly blown away by how much I actually enjoy this and how fun and exciting it is. But if I had to more accurately rate the quality of the song, it would probably be closer to a 9.5 out of 10, which is still really, really good. But yeah, it's not quite a 10 out of 10 in terms of its quality because like the chorus does take a little bit for you to really get how catchy it is, if that makes any sense. Like, it does take a little bit, but it's hell of an earworm, and I'm definitely going to have fun listening to this song quite a lot. Yes, it doesn't necessarily sound quite as distinct as their Japanese stuff, But in some ways, it just feels more polished and more expensive, and I gotta appreciate that at least a little bit. But yeah, I'm assuming that this probably comes with some B-sides, so I definitely would be curious to check some B-sides out. Honestly, I feel like at this point it's kind of time for me to finally delve into NIZIU B-sides, because I assume they have some Japanese B-sides that I'm not aware of. I mean, I've reacted to some before, but I feel like I've kind of dropped off in that regard. So if you guys want me to do that, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Let me know that there's a demand for a reaction like that. Or, like I said in the beginning, even better, go through my Patreon and Coffee account and make me react to some NIZIU B-sides, because I definitely have interest to do that. But yeah, this was pretty good. I'm really curious though, what are your guys' thoughts on this Korean debut by NIZIU? Comment those down below and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 2 patrons on Patreon, Deadpool and Corby Dead. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it, it really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, you have continued to support me for such a long time. I hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the description to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos for my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories, or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon, or to my Coffee account, or to my PayPal, where you can pledge support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do any of that, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with someone who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!